The United Way. You know the name, but do we really know what it's all about? The United Way of Southbridge, Sturbridge, and Charlton has been in operation since 1937. Dedicated efforts have been integral for 85 years. Over that time, they have donated more than $17 million to community programs and organizations. United Way of Webster and Dudley has also made a difference in their communities for the past 52 years, donating almost $7 million to community programs and associations. On April 16, 2020, a new charter was signed, officially beginning the United Way of South Central Massachusetts, now serving the communities of Charlton, Dudley, Southbridge, Sturbridge, and Webster. Today, SCTV brings you inside the offices of the United Way of South Central Massachusetts, located in the historic Wells Building, 176 Main Street in Southbridge. We'll talk with Director Mary Aucoin, who will bring us up to date on all the programs and projects that the United Way of South Central Massachusetts has to offer. Hello, Mary. Thanks for joining Southbridge Community Television today to tell us all about the United Way. Mary Aucoin, and we are in the United Way offices here on Main Street in Southbridge. So, how long have you been with United Way?
Well, I will be celebrating my 7-year anniversary on March 14th.
Wow, that's a long time
Yes.
of doing really good work for the community. Could you enlighten us, though, a little bit? People may just not understand, after all this time, 85 years, what the United Way really is here in Southbridge and the greater South Central community.
Right. Well, basically for our United Way, because we're an affiliated office of the United Way worldwide, we're one of 1,100 United Ways in the United States. We're considered a small United Way because we only have the 5 towns that we serve at this point. Our job specifically is to advocate for the nonprofits in our area that provide programming for health, education, and financial stability. And that could be anything from childcare, nutrition services through Tri-Valley, Care Central VNA, and their services that they have for people who are seniors who are coming out of the hospital. So we have a lot of different programs. Actually, we have at this point 26 programs that we support, as well as Mass 211.
And you're funded generally, what would you see through donations, obviously. You have a lot of work programs and such too that bring in the funds to help with all these projects.
Right, workplace campaigns is our main way of raising the funds to support all of these different programs. We're very fortunate in our area, especially in Southbridge, to have great community partners through our corporations and businesses and banks in our area. They run fantastic workplace campaigns. United Way has the benefit of having payroll deduction as a way of giving to the United Way. So it's not as painful for some people to donate $100 or $250 or $50
by breaking
it up through a payroll deduction. It's most of the time less than the cost of a coffee.
Right. That's a wonderful way to be able to do it. And so people can approach their employers perhaps and say, hey, how about we do a workforce campaign, if a workplace campaign?
Right. If they're not already participating in one, absolutely. That's would be great, and we'd be glad to talk to any companies, small businesses. We actually have a new program called 365 Circle, and it's meant for small businesses who may only have 10 employees. But $1 a day for United Way is basically the theme of that one. So a $365 donation from the business, we will advertise them on our website and things of that nature. But it's a good way of giving back to the community that they may not always be able to do. Many of our small businesses obviously get asked for donations all the time, for raffles and whatever thing. We typically aren't doing that, only on a special occasion kind of thing, which we will talk about a little bit later.
Right.
But we usually, ask for the campaign donation, and that's it, one and done for the year, because that is the way we think people are more generous to the organizations.
So the United Way is a nonprofit organization that has a very large circle that they help, and it's the ability for the average person to make donations to the United Way, to know that their money is going to many different pots.
Right.
You know, they
$1
don't have to,
goes a long way.
exactly.
Right.
So tell us about some of the programs that you are now involved with. We know that everything from reaching out with community impact grants, and as you said, many other types of programs. But can you give us a little heads up? You have some things coming up now. As I said, those impact grants, Day of Caring projects, and school grants and such. Could you start to highlight some of these for us?
Some of those, okay.
Yeah, and what should people do if they want to be an applicant? Even?
Right.
So.
All right. So through our campaign, we raise funds to support these nonprofit agencies. And again, a lot of these nonprofits are going to be doing their own fundraising. Don't get us wrong. We're not fully funding all of these, but we're funding a specific program within those organizations. And we advocate for those. Many people don't know about the programs. It could be New Hope, which is located here on our same floor, but they do domestic violence counseling. So survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault are getting one-on-one counseling through the programs that we're supporting. And a lot of people don't know about New Hope, but because of a United Way and we can advocate for them, people are learning more and more about these different programs. So I just want, St. Luke's Guest House is another example, or Catholic Charities, some of the specific programs that we do. It's not the overall agency that we're supporting, but the program itself. Okay. So through the funds that we raise, we give out community impact grants, and that's what we are in the process of right now. So that application is available online on United Way. It's uwsem.org. You can go on to that website. You can see the application, and any nonprofit 501c3 organization is eligible to apply if they have a program that specifically deals with health. It could be, a fitness, as an example for the Y, it's fitness, right? It could be income, something to do with financial stability. So it could be homelessness prevention, that's a big affects income, right? It could be financial planning, right? Again, income. It could be job skills training, income, okay? So any kind of program is eligible for that. Healthy programs also could be substance abuse rehabilitation. Okay, education can be childcare, pre-K. It could be after-school enrichment. Our Bright Future is a perfect example of that with STEM and robotics. So all of those different agencies, whether it's the Y, Boys and Girls Club, Tri-Valley, they have to apply every year for funds. And we have a committee called the Community Investment Committee, made up of board members and community members who review the applications. We have interviews with all of the applicants. They are able to do a presentation, and we ask questions, and those Community Investment Committee members are the ones that decide what allocations, what grant amount the organization is going to receive. Now, we fund as low as $3,000 to Boys Scouts of America. Up to $120,000 for the Boys and Girls Club after school program. So the funding level is very broad. We have approximately $400,000 that we allocate annually. It goes up a little bit sometimes, it goes down a little. It all depends on what the income we have received from the community.
Applications are online, as you said, at your website, which we'll post right here for everyone to see.
Right.
And when is the deadline?
The deadline for the community impact grants is April 21st. And interviews will take place in May.
Okay, so there is still time for people to apply.
Absolutely. That just went out. And we're hoping that there'll be new organizations that would like to apply, because we just think there's so much need in the community.
So spreading out the resources to serve more.
And to be able to advocate for them. If they're a member agency, we can talk about them more.
Right. And get the word out.
And get the word out that there's help for people.
That's wonderful. We move on. You've got a summer 2023 ASOST grant. It's the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, and they've awarded $4.5 million over the next 2 years to support to serve kids from pre-K to grade 12 for after-school and summer programs.
Right.
And you are helping to distribute those funds.
Exactly. So that $4.5 million was awarded to 3 United Ways, all the 3 United Ways in Central Massachusetts. So North Central, Central Mass, and South Central Massachusetts. Right. They actually had $10 million that was statewide, and we got 4.5 of it. So that was very exciting. This is our 5th round of ASOST grant cycle, and that stands for After School and Out of School Time Rebound. Okay? So during the school year, it meant any after school enrichment type program. Okay. So it could take place at a school. We actually funded 2 middle school, Dudley and Charlton Middle School after school programs. We funded the Old Sturbridge Academy after school program. Our Bright Future, they had a program. And Girls on the Run, which was a running program for elementary school at Southbridge and Webster. Okay. So we had a lot of different programs, and Girl Scouts had a program that we funded, and Catholic Charities has a hydroponics growing program for middle school, high school students to learn about growing in a hydroponic garden and sustainability. So it was very exciting. I always get very excited about these programs. I love education. I love having kids learning things and having an enrichment program. And so with the ASOST grants, we have been able to do phenomenal out of the box thinking across the board. Nice. So the summer program is, I don't want to call it camps because it's not necessarily camps, but it's supplemental programming for a lot of camps. Okay. So our Bright Future has their STEMming to sports program. So we help support that. That was last summer. I haven't received these grants yet, so we don't know exactly what we'll have this summer. But literacy, we do programs with the Y, with Family Services coming in to do a literacy program. ASOST grants are available today. The application is due March 6th. However, because we're just here is March 3rd, we would extend that date if you call our office here at the United Way of South Central Mass at 508-765-5491. We would be glad to extend the date if you have a program that you would like to apply for.
All right, that's very important to meet those deadlines, but it's great that you guys can extend them. So again, the information, we'll have the phone number here posted at the end as well, in case you missed it.
And we have about $100,000 for this summer.
So get your applications in.
So it's $100,000, and applications can be from anything from $1,000 to up to $50,000. Okay. So
wow.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on with some more of the information and the things that you do. One that a lot of people may be aware of is your Day of Caring project.
Right.
And I hear about that every year. A lot of times it's when I'm not around. But this year, your projects are going to be performed on June 23rd from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. So just a half a day. Of course, I guess if people think the project is going to take a full day, they need to let you know that so you can see if you've got volunteers. The Day of Caring application is for nonprofit agencies, schools, churches, municipalities. They can approach you, they can apply for a need. Tell us some of the projects you've done before and what you may be looking for.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. A perfect example is the Sturbridge Recreation Department. They have the pavilion at the Cedar Pond Recreation Area, and we have painted that. We've cleaned up the grounds. Here in Southbridge, last year we cleaned up Capillo Park and Henry Street Park with, I think they collected over 10 bags of trash that was throughout those parks. We have done painting jobs like at what is now Open Sky residential homes. We've painted the ramps coming into the houses. Down in Dudley and Webster, Dudley, their town beach, we did a total cleanup of their beach. just so many different
Right.
things.
But that all takes volunteers, correct?
Right, exactly.
And who is it that's doing all this work?
So basically we put it out and anybody in the community can volunteer. And we have a lot of businesses who will
Right.
allow their employees to come out and volunteer for the day.
So, we've been sitting here, we talk about all these wonderful things that the United Way is involved in, that you're involved in, that you lead and direct people to make sure that all these components get taken care of. It takes funding, as we've said. It takes campaigns, it takes fundraisers of different sorts. But you also have your big 85th anniversary celebration.
That is right.
So, 1937, as we've said before, is when the United Way first began locally here. And
Started off as a community chest, so think Monopoly.
wow.
You think of that little piece?
Yeah, community chest.
That's what originally
Played
was
Monopoly
United
on
Way.
Saturday.
Yeah.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
So 85 years now serving the people of the southern Worcester County, basically, and millions. I think we're over 17 million or so. Actually, if you combine, it's looking more like. Do you have a number?
I think
I'm
we're
seeing
into
69 and 17 in my notes. So
yeah.
about
So
25.
we're into almost into the 18 million range of allocating to, especially in the last few years, because in last year in 22,
Yes.
we actually allocated over $1 million
in 1 year,
in
so
one
that's
year.
a lot. That I mean, that's above and beyond
Yeah,
the norm.
that
so
right.
wonderful.
That was between the ASOST, Summer Step Up, and our regular allocation. So Summer Step Up, we didn't even get to talk about, but
We can
that
talk-
was a $500,000 going to Southbridge schools in Sturbridge. So
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
So clearly, there's so much more Mary could tell us, but we only have so much time and so much of your time, folks. So the 85th anniversary celebration is happening on March 29th. You're having a big event at Samuel Slater's out there in the Webster area. Yes.
Right.
So
Indian
tell us-
Ranch, right beside Indian Ranch.
Okay, for
And,
those who don't know
if
that.
you don't know where Sam Slater's restaurant is,
Right.
they have a lovely function hall now downstairs, and we will be celebrating our 85th anniversary. It's kind of a big deal, We're having a jazz dinner. We have Jerry Seco Trio. He's a well-known jazz musician, actually worldwide. He was recently in Korea at their jazz festival.
Wow.
And we invite all of our corporate partners, our member agencies, our donors, the general public. Everybody's invited to come. Tickets are $85 a person, and you have a selection of a couple of different meals when you're ordering your tickets. We are going to have a wonderful mystery bag raffle. It'll be a nice night of recognizing our donors this year. We have some awards. We have a special award going out to somebody here in the community.
Oh, great.
We are very excited for the night, and it's going to be really just exciting. And one of the things that we get,
Yes,
as you
I
can tell, we
see.
have our little champagne glasses that say 85th anniversary.
And maybe we could toast to those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, we're moving forward, and that was our theme, with our brochure this year was moving forward together, because it's 85 years and we're still moving forward. We're still doing more for the community. We're still helping the people who live in Southbridge, Sturbridge, Charlton, and now Webster and Dudley, since we merged with them.
Right. So bigger, broader base,
Yeah.
bigger opportunities for people to
Absolutely.
be involved. So the 85th anniversary, the March 29th, tickets are still available.
Right.
They contact again the office.
Right. The tickets are available online.
Online is okay.
Right. So we have at the website.
So, all right.
You can go to news or events, and you'll be able to find the link.
I also want, I note in my notes here say that you've got a special guest speaker as well.
We
the
do.
one and only
Sheriff Lou Evangelidis, and I actually heard him speak at an event that I think you were at, and I just loved his message, and it was so similar to United Way that I felt like everybody needs to hear him speak, because it just wrapped around. He supports us. He is doing very similar activities as us, and I just felt he's a wonderful speaker.
Yeah. Well,
And-
I'm sure he's very glad to come and speak with you guys. As you say, he's got great messages to the community, and it's not just about what they do at the jail.
No,
It's a systemic message that we need to flow throughout.
And he has a great presence down in Webster, and it's really within our community.
So a little jazz, a little good food, a nice location with a view.
Yeah.
All you have to do is buy tickets here and join the community.
And we're still accepting people if they would like to send us congratulation ads for our program.
Oh, okay.
So we're still accepting those. Again, that is all available online, so you can different levels, sponsors, if anybody wants to be a sponsor. and I'm going to just go back to Dave Caring, because when you volunteer for the United Way, Dave Caring, you get a T-shirt, and it kind of looks like this now.
It's very nice.
Isn't that cute?
Way better than volunteer.
Yeah,
I like that.
It says Dave Caring. It will say 2023 this year, and we're always looking for sponsors for that day, because we'd like to start off with a breakfast for the volunteers and get them the shirts, and so if anybody wants to help in that regard, we'll be glad to take your sponsorship.
Okay. Is there anything else you want the community to know about at this point?
You know, it's just been a very exciting time. You know, when we did our merger back in April of 2020 and took on the Webster Dudley location, it was, of course, the beginning of the pandemic. So,
scary.
You know, it was, but you realized how much the need was out there. And we still survived through it all. And we were able to still raise the funds that we needed to support the programs that we have throughout our community. And I think we have a very generous community. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who donates to United Way. Because really, if it weren't for them, these programs, a lot of them wouldn't take place. One of the things we didn't talk about is that I was awarded $150,000 worth of ARPA funds from the town of Southbridge.
Yes, this is true.
Right, and that happened. We started the funding to 4 different agencies to deal with homelessness prevention. So if you know of somebody who is struggling to maintain their home, whether it's with mortgage payments or rental assistance or utility payments, we do have agencies that have funds to help. Worcester Community Action Council actually has a special program that will do financial counseling as well. So not only will they give you it may not be that you need funds for rent, but your car broke down and now you can't get to work, and you're just one paycheck away from, you know, something drastic happening. They'll give you a loan, basically, to get you bridge that gap. So it's really
another good program.
Another great program that we've been able, and you know, not every United Way has access to that, and we, thankfully, with the encouragement of a selectman here in Southbridge, wanted me to participate, and we have great support, and you know, with the collaboration.
Right.
Not only with our leadership, but with our agencies. And they'll work together, too. Yep.
Well, everybody has to work together. I mean, that's certainly a theme that needs to be perpetuated out there.
Right. So. I'm all about convening. I'm a great collaborator.
Well, Mary, thank you for allowing Southbridge Community Television to come into the United Way office and to learn more about the great programs and services that you are facilitating and making happen everywhere. We've provided you with a lot of information today. Perhaps we've even sparked some interest in you to get involved with your community, with United Way, with volunteering, or some other way of participation. Whatever that is, there's lots of opportunities for you to make a difference. For more information, take a look at the United Way's website, contact Mary directly, and reach out to the cable station even. We're here for you, and we thank you for watching. I'm Denise Clemence. This is Southbridge Community Television.